Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here, greeting boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. First off, I gotta talk about this before I forget. ADHD. Hokey smokes. I went walking to the library today. Now, part of the path that I can take to get there is a path that runs through. It's not really much forest. There's housing here and it comes up all around it, but there is an area where a stream runs. And where it runs, it goes through the woods and such, and there's those woods, and then it ends in a sewage, not a sewage, but a big drainage pool that goes through a big concrete thing and then disseminates outward from that. But the path is through that woods in the ravine, and it is absolutely amazing because it's trees and wildlife. I was walking along that path today to get to the library, and I had to stop, and I even said out loud, I don't walk for anything but my health, but oh my God, this is beautiful. And it was a combination of things that even if I went back with a camera later, it wouldn't happen again that way, because there was a combination of the time, mist, because there had been a light fog, and rays from the sun. But with the greenery and the trees and the stream right next to me just went forward. Like if it had been a painting, it would have been right through the center of it, and then at the end it started to turn, but that end was, you couldn't see it because of the light mist and the rays of light coming through the trees and lighting up through the mist. It was like an amazing, beautiful painting. I was awestruck by absolutely how beautiful it was. I don't go out walking to notice things. I go out walking so that I will stay as healthy as I can and hopefully not die anytime soon. But every once in a while I see some stuff where I just have to stop and go, oh my gosh. Now the thing is, I've mentioned this part too, I don't like to record or take photos of stuff like that. Because what I am seeing is, of course, ultra wide screen, ultra high definition with amazing ultra high definition audio, and you compress that into some form of compression that they use for all of the video wrapper types in a small video form on maybe a phone with tinny sound. I'd rather just forget than remember it that way. I want to remember the ultra high def, ultra wide thing that I saw that filled up everything in my vision, instead of seeing it in a tiny picture on a phone. So I don't take pictures of stuff like that. Thumbs up. But I just wanted to mention that it looked absolutely incredible. I hope to take my tablet back there again. I have taken it through there. There's a lot of videos I've taken of the stream. So if you're curious, you can go back and look. So thumbs up. But the reason I went to the library, I made a whole bunch of copies of these. Now, what are these? Heroes of Kalanor, a very light role-playing game. Very, very light. In fact, the stats are, you don't have things like your strength and wisdom and intelligence. No, it's just how well you can hit things hand to hand, how well you can hit things at a distance, and what your hit points and stuff are. very, very light on the role playing. But it has dungeon generation stuff and such with other rules for the combat, and it's done almost more of a tactics game than strict role playing. Because while it is solo, although you can have 4 people, each of them controlling one person, or 2 people, each of them controlling 2, or 1 person controlling 4. You can have multiple people, but you generate dungeons on the fly with the rules. You put in creatures. You have to kind of make your own, because they only have a couple of creatures in the main book, and you get other creatures and supplements you have to buy. But then you can just make up your own dungeons and go. But the idea is you pop down a piece of whatever and then move your figures around on them and have the fights that way. Your characters can move 10 squares. The bad guys can move 10 squares. So if they're further than 10 squares, I'd pepper them with a bow before they get too close. So I want to play it. Again, for all that it is, it doesn't involve a whole lot. I mean, half of this page, this is, gold, gems, equipment. Do you really need a half a page for that? And then over here, of course, there's just your weapons stats. These are your 2 hits for your hand-to-hand and ranged. Like I say, very, very simple. But that's okay. I actually like the idea. Now, there's a ton of other games that I do like the idea of that I've never played, and I should. Like there's Treasure Awaits, a game from like 2012. And it is fully self-contained with random tables. And it looks pretty good. Problem is, it doesn't have a gameplay loop thing. Whereas other things like Heroes of Kalanor, they'll say, oh, there's the monster phase and there's their hero phase. And then they break down the hero phase into this is when you do this, and then this is the tables you roll to do this. And then if you want to go into the dungeon, you follow this. They don't really have that in Treasure Awaits. It's kind of, here's all the tables so that you can play it solo or even without a GM with a couple people. And then there's no loop to tell you what you should be doing. So it's just another step in the way that's what slows me down. Such is life. Such is life. But past that, oh yeah, I'll talk about this real quick. I had my echocardiogram yesterday, and I don't think I might have talked about it in a text or something, but it was simple. It was easy. I fell asleep during it, largely, because it was just lay on my side and then lay on my back, and she took the ultrasound type wand and poked it around on my sternum and such to look at, because you got the point of your heart. The bottom part is on the left-hand side of your chest, or I can't remember now, but the point goes downward, and you have to go over there and count down and find out where the tip of your heart is, so it's all on one side. And she was doing that, and then when I lay on my back, she was going up underneath for the diaphragm area as well as just up above, and then also poking around and sticking the wand up here so I'll get a good look at everything. And then I got the call back later on. They send all the reports off to a cardiologist who reads the report from the person who took it, takes a look at all the pictures to see if they agree with everything that's said, sign off on it, send it out. So I have an appointment with my doctor to talk it over, but from the call, it's unremarkable. So that's good. That's good. And one thing I learned a bit ago, if you have problems with swelling, which I do, I destroyed my lymph nodes way back when I kept getting a cellulitis. But one of the things that can exacerbate a swelling problem in your lower extremities is lack of protein. And so I have been eating more protein. Now, I don't really eat meat or anything like that. I mean, I do, but just I don't seek it out. I've increased I eat more beans because they have a lot of protein and fiber, and I have cottage cheese. I have noticed in just the past couple weeks since I've started really doing this, swelling's gone down on my legs a lot. And I've had to tighten my boots up a lot. They've gone from, the length doesn't mean anything, but when I pull them and tighten, lace them up, they pull about this much, so they're about this much longer. I had a spot on my one shoelace where it would be where the knot went. Now it's in the loop because my feet have gotten so much smaller that I can pull my laces tighter. So eat a lot of protein, or get more protein if you have lower extremity swelling. It helps to, it's a whole diffusion thing, and it helps with electrolytes and all this. There's a protein matrix within your cells, and if you don't have enough protein, they can't hold the water well enough. So thumbs up. Past that, though, I have been playing computer games. I cannot tell you at this moment what I have been playing. It's something. I think largely it's because I've been playing a lot of stuff on my, it's on my PlayStation and such. A lot of Kingsfield, and I started some Kingsfield 2 again, which, if you know the full complete story, the first Kingsfield 1, they did not release in the United States. If you want to play Kingsfield, there is a fan patch made so that it dubs or subs, well, it would be subs, wouldn't it? But it translates it from Japanese into English, so you can play it if you want. And so Kingsfield in the United States is really Kingsfield 2, Kingsfield 2 is really Kingsfield 3, and Kingsfield 3, the Ancient City, is actually Kingsfield 4, all in the story. But if we ignore the first one for the moment, I've been playing a lot of Kingsfield 1, getting into playing Kingsfield 2 again, and then, boy, I'd like to do Kingsfield 3 again. But yeah, these things are hard. They will slaughter you like bugs. And Kingsfield, the Ancient City, does a lot to show you, to teach you to be careful. You gotta watch the ground. There's a thing that you can go over and pick up when you first start the game. So if you walk over to pick it up, you're not gonna really be paying attention, and you will fall into the nasty stuff that the thing to pick up is resting on, and you'll die. So you can die within the first 6 seconds of starting the game. It's a good game, though. As Josh Strife Hayes, who's now gone through like the first couple to say, are they any good, was talking about, I can't remember now, because ADHD. Still, though, I'm going to ignore that one now because I've forgotten completely what it was I was trying to say, and go on to this instead, which is to say, of the people that I have watched talking about the series is can they recommend it? Largely, kind of. They're not really great because they're early PlayStation stuff, but if you do, everything that is in the later From Software games is in the first Kingsfield stuff. Well, I mean, no rolling, but everything is slow and deliberate. It's just very, very good. But for PlayStation times, hokey smokes. You know, that was something new and different. I'm glad I got them. I don't know how or why I decided to pick them up, but thankfully I did. So I was going to go into my spiel and then forgot exactly what I was talking about. Hey, if you could like, comment, subscribe, and share the video, that'd be awesome. Share it with anybody you think that would like to watch an old man yammering inanely about just nothing at all. Hey, if you've watched this far, 2 more days, the 26th is my birthday. So if you could say happy 26th in the comments, that would be very cool to let both me and the algorithm know that people watch these. Thumbs up and thank you. And if you're a patron, thumbs up and thank you. You're beautiful and awesome. I appreciate the help to no end. You are beautiful and awesome people. Thank you so very, very much. Then, hey, if you could also check out, I have a GoFundMe where I'm trying to get money to purchase a computer. I'm looking at the Lenovo's right off the bat to see about getting a all-in-one. If I can get one that'll last 5-6 years, that would be worth it. So if you could check that out, that would be awesome and greatly appreciated. If it would hurt, or if you simply do not have the money, do not worry about donating. But if you do have the money and you've taken care of all your needs, and there is some that you wouldn't mind parting with, if you could part it in my direction, that'd be awesome. Thumbs up and thank you. If you left me a comment, thumbs up and thank you so very much. I read every one that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart each one that YouTube allows, and I answer as many as my nerve compression allows me to answer, which is not as many as I would like. But I do my best, and thumbs up and thank you so much. You are beautiful and awesome people. So I am going to edit, render, upload. I'm going to work on trying to get Heroes of Kalinor done. I'm working constantly on my creative stuff, and that's a good thing. So, hey. And you know, creative stuff, if I could figure out what to do with it, isn't that bad. There's a YouTuber I watch, J.P. Cooper, I think, something like that. He just recently had a book published about Dragon Town, a setting, rules agnostic about a town and all the adventurous stuff around it. Well, I got a whole world. Isn't there something I could do to make it? We'll have to see. Anyway, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. October 26th. 62 years old. That's the day, finally, senior citizen, instead of nearly senior citizen.